I'm very, very happy to be here with you. A little bit about me. I'm a New Jersey boy. I grew up in New Jersey, went to Rutgers, took a one-year leave of absence at the end of my junior year and came to San Francisco. And that 1 year turned into 10 years at the San Francisco Zen Center. In the last few years, I've been doing a lot of mindfulness trainings at places like Google and SAP and government agencies. I'm often asked, why do people want to practice mindfulness? Why do people, whether it's in the business world, or I often work with doctors and lawyers and healthcare workers, and my short answer to the question about why mindfulness is two words: pain and possibility. That I think that being human is hard. You know, we're born and we will die, and we know that we will die. Raising families and children and taking care of our parents and balancing all that with working and being creative and being connected, getting what we want, what we don't want, and not getting what we want. Many, many reasons why things are painful. And at the same time, being human is filled with possibility. The possibility of making what's ordinary sacred, the possibility of finding our own real aliveness and awakeness and freedom. And this is what I love about mindfulness practice, is that it completely is facing into what's difficult, not ignoring what's difficult, and at the same time opening in a very almost dramatic way to what's possible. How audacious to think that finding real freedom is possible. And I think that meditation is a very core practice of mindfulness, but then I think it's also just as important about how we bring those qualities that we're cultivating in our meditation practice into our daily lives, into our work, into our relationships. And I want to talk about 7 core practices. And those practices are: love the work, do the work, don't be an expert, connect to your pain, connect to the pain of others, depend on others, and keep making it simpler. And one of the things I love about these practices is that they're both ordinary and sacred. They're both they seem quite ordinary and at the same time quite poetic. And I'll talk maybe just a little bit now about the first practice, which is love the work. And this actually means not the work that not your particular work that you do, your livelihood, but this is the work of mindfulness. So loving the work of developing yourself, developing this aspiration toward finding more freedom and more awakeness and aliveness, and loving the work of supporting and helping other people. And there's so much I could talk about, but I think there's something about the L word, the love word. And it's interesting how much we're seeing this idea being used even in big corporations, places like Google or like SAP, or where I think there's more and more an understanding that we have a yearning to be integrated beings. We need meaning and connection. We want to be doing something valuable, and underlying that is real affection and love for what we're doing. Let's see if I can remember. There's a quote by the author of The Little Prince, St. Hawkesbury, who said something like, if you want to teach people to build a ship, don't teach them about hammering and nails. Teach them to love and yearn for the immensity of the sea. So I think there's something about, as human beings and as mindfulness practitioners, kind of leaning into what's this question of what's really possible, what do we really love, and to have more that sensibility of love in our daily lives. let's sit for a few minutes together. So I want to suggest seeing what it's like to stop, just noticing what it's like, the transition from whatever activities you were doing, whatever they might be, and just stopping and noticing what it's like in this body, bringing attention perhaps to how you place your hands, how you place your feet, opening the chest and shoulders, just keeping it simple, just noticing what it's like to be here. What is it like to be alive right now? Not trying to force anything or change anything, just being here with your body, with your breath, noticing that breathing is happening. It's always been happening since the moment you were born. Perhaps bringing a childlike curiosity to the breath. What is this breath? It's actually very ordinary and mysterious at the same time. Much like everything about us being human in this world. And just breathing in, breathing out, noticing whatever might be happening, your full experience of being here. What is it like to be here and no other place? And what is it like to let go of your usual to-do lists and ideas of doing it right or doing it wrong, and practicing with a kind of full acceptance, complete acceptance of yourself, being kind to yourself, opening, being curious, cultivating openness and curiosity with each breath, breathing in and breathing out. And whenever you're ready, coming back and bringing your attention to being here with me. Well, I've really appreciated this time of sitting together for a few minutes and talking about what mindfulness is, and pain and possibility, and an introduction to these 7 practices, and just talking for a few minutes about the first practice of love the work. And I want to end this session with a piece of a poem. It's kind of one of my favorite current poems. It's by the poet Tony Hoagland. And it's something like, do you remember that time and light are kinds of love? And love is as practical as a safe spare tire or a coffee grinder. So I think there's something about this observation, this position, this view that everything really is composed of love. And I think certainly it's reported a lot when people have some big kind of aha experience during meditation or in daily life, or when people are close to death. There seems to be a lot of agreement that all that really matters in our lives is loving and being loved. And so this is the practice of love the work.